Titled Ready to Ride the LED Boom to Bigger Profits, tired of spending hours on marketing instead of clients. The global LED phototherapy market has been valued in 2024 at around 500 millions. This means that in 5 to 7 years, based on the growth that it's experiencing, this will be a market that will reach around 1 billion. Yeah? This means that if you're not part of this market, you're already missing out. And if you are part of this market already, well done for catching it. And surely there's a lot more you can get out of it. And that's what we hope to achieve with this session as well. Obviously, with LED and many other treatments coming into the clinics, it can feel sometimes overwhelming to have to market them all. Well, we see that it costs clinics, clients, and cash. So how do we resolve that? Well, let's talk about that today. So in the next 45 to 50 minutes, we'll look at how LED is the science that keeps clients booking into your practice. We'll look at tangibly what does this mean for return on investment on a device in your clinic. And then after we understand that, we'll say, okay, we understand the science, we know what the ROI looks like, so how do we market it now? And so we'll look at all that business-in-a-box marketing support that comes with Dermalux and all the amazing tools that are available for you. We'll close with a Q&A with myself and Melissa, and stay on until the end because the exclusive takeaway will come for you. So I'm Marcus Meraldi. I'm the head of global brands at Dermalux. I've got over 10 years of expertise in global brand strategy and demand generation in several sectors, including obviously medical aesthetics. I've led and developed award-winning strategies that drove measurable business growth and collaborated with many medics across my career to drive clinically credible and impactful results for clinics and brands. And I'm really looking forward today to bring all of that value to you and have a really productive session. And here with me, you see her on the screen, the fantastic Melissa Williams. She's the head of global education at Dermalux, over 23 years of expertise in professional skincare and medical aesthetics. She's been the driving force behind the Dermalux Academy, which is the leading education platform on LED. Check it out if you haven't yet. Specialized in protocol development, business growth strategies, and has been working for many years with key opinion leaders and advisory boards alike. And again, she also looks forward today to bring with you that bridge between science, outcomes, and profitability as well. So I'm going to hand it off to you, Melissa, for the science that keeps the clients booking.
Thank you so much for that very warm welcome, and isn't it lovely to be on the other side of the hosting seat for once? So thank you for that. We will absolutely dive in, and we've got a lot to cover. You know I like to talk a lot, so I'm going to start right here with clients do not book treatments, they book results. And we know that the science behind LED delivers these results and keeps them coming back again and again. And so how do we explain LED phototherapy to our clients in a way that's impactful and in a way that sticks so that they see these amazing results? Well, let me introduce you to the success framework. I'm sure many of you will know exactly what this is, but for those that haven't, I would like to talk you through that today. The framework is put together to be used in any conversation. I even use this framework when I'm trying to get my way on where we go for dinner. So you can use this in any type of conversation, but it's when you want that conversation to be memorable and to stick with the person that that you're talking to, that you're sharing this message with. And I'm going to use this framework when we introduce LED phototherapy to a client. Now, there isn't a spelling error. I do need to put that out there. It doesn't finish with the final S. And however, let's see what the letters mean. So Number one, we need to keep the conversation simple. We want to strip the message right down to its core so it's easy to understand and remember. And we need to start with that focus in mind. We then have unexpected. This is what's going to grab that attention by, breaking the patterns or surprising the audience that we're talking to. We need to keep it concrete. We need to use clear, tangible examples so people can then grasp that message. We need to keep it credible, bring it up to, back everything up, with authority, with the data, with real world proof that builds the trust. We need to keep it emotional. We need to connect to the feelings and the values of people so that, it relates to them in terms of what message we're talking about. And then we wrap everything up at the end with a story, again, that is relatable and that they can act on. So I'm going to follow this success framework when we ask the most important question that we get asked by our clients all the time: what is LED phototherapy? So let's start, and we keep it simple. How do we start? It is light that heals. Now, those of you that are experts in LED phototherapy, we know that when we talk about different wavelengths, they have different mechanisms of action. And when we touch on blue light at 450 nanometers, we know this is there to destroy, sterilize the area, destroy that acne-causing bacteria. But the focus of Dermalux protocols, of course, is the scientific term of photobiomodulation. And that is where we're going to focus on our conversation today. So, of course, you weren't going to get away without me touching on my favorite topic, which, of course, is the science. So, for anyone here that is new to LED, or those that would like a little refresher, or those that are sick of hearing me by now, just give me a few minutes so that we can go back to basics and really understand what this simple phrase means and the impact that it has. So, light that heals. Let's go right back to the beginning, the key functions of the cell. Firstly, we know that every process in the human body is driven by cellular activity. From recovery to repair, our cells are the building blocks for all biological functions. And so let's touch on some of the key functions of a cell. Well, energy production. Cells generate energy in the form of ATP. This action is then provided by the mitochondria, which we know is the powerhouse of the cell, and it is needed to power all biological processes. That important and essential to life. Another function, maintenance and repair. The cells synthesize proteins, they repair damaged DNA, they manage tissue integrity, they ensure proper functioning of all of our cells. But they need energy to be able to do that. And then let's touch on the last point, in terms of the key functions of the cell: communication and regulation. We know that cells communicate via chemical signals to coordinate responses to stimuli, to regulate body functions, to maintaining a stable internal environment. But for cells to perform all of these functions optimally, they require energy in the form of ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, from the mitochondria. ATP is that energy currency within our cells. Think of the cells, and I've used this analogy many times, or think of the cells as factories. And ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is the electricity that provides power to the machines within that factories. The mitochondria are the power plants generating that electricity, ensuring that the factory runs smoothly and efficiently. But without enough power, production slows down, the factory can't operate its best. It's exactly the same with the cell. So what happens here then is we see mitochondrial dysfunction. We know that 90% of the body's energy production comes from the mitochondria, those tiny, tiny organelles within the cell. And when they fail, everything does. And modern stressors disrupt their ability to produce energy all the time. We can't quite get away with it. Aging and stress. So over time, cells naturally lose their efficacy, their efficiency, recovery. And the constant stress then accelerates this decline. What else? Chronic inflammation, that ongoing immune activation. This drains the energy, it pushes cells into dysfunction. Lifestyle pressures, this is my list: poor sleep, poor diet, lack of recovery, and this slows down mitochondrial performance. Environmental damage, UV pollution, toxins, these create all of the oxidative stress and damage to the DNA. And then certain, conditions, certain medications, they all interfere with mitochondrial pathways. When we take a look at this in terms of the hallmarks of aging, which we know the hallmarks of aging are the key biological processes and cellular changes that drive how and why we age, they are all interconnected, and mitochondrial dysfunction sits right at the center. Because when the mitochondria work properly, it then has this positive ripple effect across all of the other hallmarks, and that is crucial for cellular health and longevity. So we see from mitochondrial dysfunction, we then see cellular dysfunction. Cellular dysfunction is the symptoms that are driven into our clinic every single day. And what else can this look like? Well, skin and body aging. With less energy, we don't produce the collagen, the elastin that our skin needs. That's why we see fine lines, wrinkles, reduced firmness over time. Chronic inflammation, conditions like rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, and even pain in the body, they are all linked to mitochondrial dysfunction. Poor wound healing, acne, scarring. When ATP levels are low, the skin simply doesn't have the resources to heal as well as it should. And then, the buzzword that we all know, inflammation. This is where the cells deteriorate much faster, leading to visible aging that we see on the skin, aging within the body. And this is leading, to ongoing inflammation, slow recovery. And this is the common thread that we see. Dysfunctional mitochondria reduce energy, and when energy is low, the cells cannot perform, repair, or regenerate as they should. But we are using light to bioengineer better performing cells. And this is exactly where photobiomodulation comes in that I mentioned before. This is where we can restore that lost energy and heal. Remember, this is light that heals. The mitochondria contains chromophores, which are molecules that absorb specific wavelengths of light, particularly when the cytochrome C oxidase within the electron transport chain absorbs particular wavelengths. It can trigger the chain reaction that increases ATP production. With more ATP, cells can perform at their best. They can accelerate repair and regeneration at the cellular level, and they can balance that oxidative stress by, again, activating the cell's own antioxidant defenses. So what is LED phototherapy? When we keep it simple, it is light that heals. So let's move on to continue that conversation. What is LED phototherapy? Let's keep it unexpected. It is not just cosmetic. It is not a bit of light that gives you a glow. It is cellular therapy, and cells power every function in the body, but without enough energy, they can't do their job. And that's when we see, skin ages faster, healing slows, and conditions persist. You can see here, this is not just a bit of a glow. We are using light to trigger the body's natural ability to heal itself. Let's continue with the conversation. What is LED phototherapy? Concrete. Well, Dermalux delivers clinically proven wavelengths of light to our cells to restore their ability to repair, regenerate, and rebalance. You don't need to take our word for that. There are many, many different papers, where LED phototherapy has been utilized for decades. So do take a look at that. What is LED phototherapy? Let's keep it credible. It is backed by thousands of studies, as we've seen, and trusted worldwide. across the globe. And let me show you, this is exactly it. We have medics and specialists across the globe that are championing these results, not only for their clients, but also for their business goals, just like your business goals. And they actively support innovation, behind Dermalux, which continues to drive that clinical excellence and commercial success worldwide. What is LED phototherapy? Let's keep it emotional. Well, when Dermalux is built into a treatment plan, it doesn't just improve skin, it restores confidence, it speeds recovery, and it transforms outcomes. Again, we see this all the time, every day. I love taking a look through our Instagram to see all of the amazing testimonials of how we are transforming many people's lives and skin and well-being. Let's finish that conversation with the story. Cells are the foundation of health and longevity. Dermalux restores their energy, renewing repair, rejuvenation, and long-term vitality. And the evidence is seen time and time again. So let's bring all of that together. What is LED phototherapy? It is light that heals. It's not just cosmetic, it's cellular therapy. Cells power every function in the body, but without enough energy, they can't do their job. And that's when skin ages faster, healing slows, and conditions persist. Dermalux delivers clinically proven wavelengths of light to our cells and restores their ability to repair, regenerate, and rebalance. It's trusted worldwide, backed by thousands of studies, and when Dermalux is built into a treatment plan, it doesn't just improve skin, it restores confidence, speeds recovery, and transforms outcomes. Cells are the foundation of health and longevity. Dermalux restores their energy, renewing repair and supporting long-term vitality. So this is a framework that you can use to allow that message to stick, but it's the results, right? It's the results that speak for themselves time and time again. So have a little look at this, and we've got something at the end that we can share with you. But this is why LED is booming in our industry right now. Cellular energy decline is what is driving the symptoms that clients come into clinic for. Acne and inflammation, slow healing and recovery, aging and longevity, systemic well-being, and much, much more. LED phototherapy equals direct mitochondrial therapy. It is light that targets the mitochondria to restore ATP, balance oxidative stress, power repair, and the role of mitochondria in health, in disease, in longevity is now widely published. And we do all of this with no pain, with zero downtime, direct to cell action. We are totally bypassing the digestive system. It is super versatile because the mechanisms of action are all the same, which is why anybody that walks in can have this treatment for many different indications. Safe and proven time and time again. It is reliable results, and we always get that. It's super reliable. We've got this, plan that we can share with our clients, knowing what that outcome is going to be. And it is high profit. We should not be shy about the money conversation, because Dermalux really is one of the only technologies in the clinic that can earn money even when you're not in the room. And that's not an exaggeration. While you're writing notes, switching rooms, or having a coffee, Dermalux is doing its job quietly, consistently, profitably. And I want to look at that a little bit further as we look at some ways that you can introduce LED within your clinic. So as Marco said, it is soon to be a $1 billion market. So the question on everyone's lips is, how do I turn this demand into profit? Well, let's touch on profit pathway number one, which is packages and memberships. Packages and memberships are a very powerful business tool. Packages secure commitment and cash flow up front. When you audit your treatment menu, are you offering the packages for the indications that Dermalux supports, thinking about wound healing clinics, acne clinics, pain management pathways, preconditioning, post-recovery plans. You open up new revenue streams, you increase the predictability of the outcome, and you also strengthen that long-term patient loyalty as well. Memberships, I mean, it's a brilliant business model. I've kept this very conservative here at £150 a month, but we have so much feedback about when you are offering memberships and you have a 12-month membership plan, you are guaranteeing that revenue coming in every single month, and that is a really good place to be. Of course, we're going to continue to boost retention when we are increasing that lifetime value and clients are continuously coming into clinic. Remember, if a client is coming into your clinic weekly, they are much more likely to pick up their SPF from you and the rest of the products that they normally use, or integrate other treatments. For example, 50 memberships a month at 150, and I know this is low, but I want to keep it for everybody's market. That could generate you £7,500 a month, guaranteed. It's coming in for the next 12 months. Amazing. The next one I want to touch on is how the combination part of it. Of course, we need to add LED phototherapy onto every treatment that you do. Yes, we're talking profit, and yes, it increases that higher average transaction value. And when we look at the business case that you can see here from the fabulous Kate Monteith-Ross, she started to incorporate LED phototherapy at £45 onto every single polynucleotides treatment. It was non-negotiable. That is now part of the package. In 9 months, she was able to generate an additional, so just counting the additional revenue from that add-on, almost £26,000 in 9 months, which is amazing. But it does much more. It accelerates results. It reduces downtime. It prevents complications. It modulates inflammation. We get more satisfied clients, which means that we get stronger referrals, stronger word of mouth. And remember, these add-ons are done in the 10-minute turnaround time, so you do not need to add more treatment time to your diary. There was a great study that we'd seen at CCR, and on average, a practice performs 80 Botox treatments a month. Just imagine if only 50% of those said, yes, I want to see incredible results by up to 200%, because we know that we can stimulate cell regeneration by up to 200%, bringing those new cells to the surface. If just 50% of those people decided, yes, let's go for it, that's additional £21,000 without any, without hands-on treatment, without adding any additional time into the treatment menu. And finally, the light lounge. You've all seen it. Everyone talks about it. It is a very great passive profit stream. It's a hands-free treatment, no staff costs, no consumables. You're utilizing space within the clinic where you can now drive income where you didn't generate income from before, and positioning your clinic as that progressive destination, which is what all of the the industry is wanting at the moment. They're focusing on preventative health, and in terms of coming in regular focuses on cellular health on many different different ways. When you use your business to focus on longevity, long-term health in this way by offering a light lounge, light clinic, it really does drive that loyalty and supports that upsell goal as well. So what does that look like to you? Well, I'm going to touch now on the solo practitioners in the room, the medium clinics around 2 to 3 rooms, and then the large clinics 4+. Okay, I'm going to touch on what that could look like for you. So let's start with the solo practitioner, and let's take a look at some of the realities, some of the pain points that we see. Well, firstly, there's limited capacity. You only have so many hours in the day, and every treatment, if it relies on you being hands-on, your growth is capped. The burden of heavy admin. I mean, it's the worst, and it's the complaint that I hear the most about. We all know how quickly paperwork, consultations, general business takes, takes that valuable time, and revenue pressures, that constant pressure on revenue. So we know that many solo practitioners feel that they have to keep finding new clients to grow. Well, where does LED come in? The solution here, it is a hands-free treatment. It frees up your time, meaning that you can treat other clients whilst focusing on tasks. You can actually earn money on your admin day. So open up your light lounge for that day, have it running in the background, do what you need to do, and earn money whilst doing that. And the packages, the memberships, they create that secure recurring income, and that's giving you that predictable revenue and strong business foundation as well. What could that look like? Well, if just 10 people a week said, yeah, I'll add LED on, that could be an additional £26,000 a year. If you sold 5 packages a month, that could be £45,000 additional a year. Just 10 memberships a month brings you an additional £18,000 a year, which is almost £100,000 without doing anything. This is a hands-free treatment, remember, with no consumable costs. What about the medium clinic? Well, we know that staff are often stretched. There's only so much that they can do in a day, and hiring more staff isn't always an option. Limited space, the space is valuable, and adding new treatment rooms isn't always possible. And growth demands, many clients want to many clinics want to bring in new clients, but they then struggle to lower that barrier to entry level. Well, let's look at the solution. Again, it is a hands-free treatment, meaning that you can see more clients without increasing the headcount. The light lounge for limited space is going to transform an area within your room, within your reception, that is going to help to drive revenue in that additional space. And it is an affordable entry-level treatment that attracts new clients and helps to build those long-term relationships. What could that look like in terms of money? Well, 25 upgrades a week is an additional 65,000 a year. 15 packages per month is an additional 135,000 a year. 50 memberships a month is additional 90,000 a year. That is just under £300,000 a year additional revenue that you do not need to do anything for. Finally, the large clinics then that are in the room, we know there's very high overheads, larger teams, bigger premises, more operational costs. We have our idle rooms in big clinics as well, being able to optimize all of that space and preventing any lost revenue. And of course, retention gaps, these are when we have more patients coming through, it can be harder to maintain that long-term loyalty and to keep them coming back. Well, some of the solutions then, again, it's hands-free. You can maximize your margins without the additional expense. Light lounge, again, is turning a new space into a profit center. If you've got a room or you've got some space in reception, open that up. And then weekly LED keeps your patients loyal. It keeps them engaged, and it keeps you part of that progressive approach where you're supporting cellular health every day and touching on longevity. So what could that look like? 50 upgrades a week, 130,000. 25 packages, 225,000 a year. 100 memberships, 180,000. That's over £500,000 with one device when you are doing nothing, no additional costs, as I've said before. It's incredible. Now, those figures I referred to is with our TriWave MD. And when we discuss the business goals with our partners, the reason that we're talking about the TriWave MD is because most want long-term revenue that keeps building. What you need to ask yourself, though, as you decide whether you have the right device or whether you want to introduce LED, now you've seen the potential of it, first question is, when do your clients want to see results? Now, if you gave your clients a choice to get a result in 8 hours versus 2.4 hours, what do you think the answer would be? We know that the latest studies share the pressure of, high demand on getting a result much quicker. And so if we use a lower dosage delivery of LED, then we need more treatment time and we need more treatments. So if we are using a higher dosage, an optimal dosage delivery, then we can reduce that treatment time and we can reduce the number of treatments that are needed. So if you have a lower device and have recently upgraded or sat there thinking, you know, actually I want to be able to offer my clients this now, how do I share the value? There's this, you know, a great way that I've always said it, which is, you know, if you like the Flex MD, you're going to love the TriWave MD. In just 3.5 minutes, it delivers the same dose that the Flex does when it takes 30 minutes. That just shows the impact. This is then delivering incredible results while cutting visits from 3 times a week to just once. We need to make sure that we respect our clients' time as well and commitment. And then the other question I would ask is, what are your business goals? Do you want to be able to see 10 clients offer 10 courses generating incredible revenue in the same time that it would take you to be only able to deliver 3 courses, capping that long-term revenue? So it really is something to think about when you're introducing LED. Now, let's hear from Marco, because he can bring all this together now and share with you the incredible tools that's that support your goals and brings them to life. So thank you, Marco.
Melissa, thank you so much. Insightful as always. So we've seen now how this LED is designed that keeps clients booking and how we can't really miss out in today's era. And obviously we've seen how the return on investment is there as well. So it's a brainless investment for a clinic. Obviously, your hands might be already full. So how do you manage to bring in or to maximize LED on top of everything else that you are already doing? Well, we know this is a challenge, and that's why we work tirelessly every day to create a marketing machine. A business is a box in a box concept that you don't have to build to really optimize the time and resources that you've got. Why? Because we know that there are problems, right? There is time. Time is what everybody wants more of, isn't it? And we need time to create content, to create marketing, create tactics. This is hours and hours per week. We need budgets. So often, whether it's a medium, small, large clinic, there's budget constraints for hiring a marketing team or any kind of external support, which then often can lead to inconsistent quality, inconsistent messaging, and ultimately all those aspects that don't make us engage and get that performance that we wish we had with our clients. Which means that ultimately it can result difficult in this busy world, many treatments, many things to do, to nurture patients throughout the funnel and make sure they were able to communicate effectively with them along every step of that funnel. So what I'm hoping that we see in the next few minutes is that there's a solution to that, and there's some help that we can provide to those problems. So when we talk about the marketing machine you don't have to build, that's a very nice sentence, but what does that mean in practical terms? Well, it means that we prepared, done for you, social media kits, assets, and templates, so you don't have to make them on your own. We prepared education and marketing packs that are client ready, both for you and for your patients. And we collected all of that in a digital asset library together with additional images, videos, and graphics that you can play with to promote the treatments into your clinic. This is all ready to use. It's literally 1 or 2 clicks away at best. Importantly, it's customizable. We know you don't want to dilute your personal brand. We know you don't want just a copy-paste. So this is customizable with your own personal branding, with your own local language, and much, much more. And ultimately, this means that you're going to be able to get the efficiency and the efficacy of content developed by a market leader, but without much effort, really just a few clicks away, very easily. What does that mean? That you're going to be able to save on several aspects. It means that this is going to reduce your content creation time from hours per week to minutes or seconds. It means that you're going to be able to improve the consistency on messaging when you promote LED, and therefore look professional, and therefore really gain that engagement and performance with your clients that are going to feel more involved with that offer. And ultimately, hopefully, this means that it allows you to focus on other aspects that you might need to focus on more. It allows you to focus on treating the actual patients when that's the case, or on your business, which is also super important, and ultimately not having to worry too much, just a couple of things about content creation. So when we talk about content, it can be easy to say, yeah, there's assets available, but so what? Every clinic, every practitioner, every business is in a different place, it's in a different context, right? Each of you is in a different journey. And that's why we have created materials that take patients all the way through the journey, regardless of where they are and where you are, from awareness, from getting to know about you, about the treatments you offer, to consider to actually come to see you and get a treatment, and all the way to locking that deal and converting a patient to the treatment. What does that mean? It means that for awareness, there's going to be press coverage available and testimonials that is going to let people know about your offering and about what LED is. And this is something we're already pushing from Dermalux as well on LED phototherapy in general, but you will get those materials available. Then you're going to get much more for people to really start, considering and think, this might be for me. So you get all the social media assets, the stories, the feeds, statics and videos, digital leaflets for your clinics, in-clinics QR codes, easy to scan for your patients, a lot to engage your patients with and really get them interested even more. And then we go further down the funnel. So they're considering the treatment, and that's that they might want to deepen their knowledge. They might have some more specific questions about what that means for them. So that's where we come to you with clinical papers, FAQ on our site, protocols, consent forms, and all the way down to conversion. This is where you're going to lock in that patient and lock in the appointment, that visit, with the testimonials, with before and after imagery, with practitioner and patient videos, and with product and results page as well. This means that when we say there's assets available for you, it's not actually just a list of assets. This is a set of strategic tools that will drive measurable results regardless of where you are or where your patients are in their journey to booking that treatment. When we say easily adaptable, well, again, that can be an easy thing to say, but it actually is extremely easy. They're adaptable to your clinic branding. You see here in just a couple of clicks away, you can change the copy, add your clinic logo, adjust the messaging so you can personalize it and you can make that content feel like your own without having to start from scratch and actually having a really strong basis. All is great. We have all the assets, but so what? It's like you're making a cake. You've got all the ingredients on your table, but so what? What do I do with it? I need an actual recipe to be able to make, a great success, right? So that's where we need to move from the assets to action. And that's what we're going to see in the next section of this lab. And what we'd love to share with you is what we've put together is the top 10 tactics that, based on our experience on working with many medics and leaders across the board, what are the top 10 tactics to scale bookings into your clinic and to turn that marketing effort into real patients. Now, if you stick around, after we share the tactics, there's going to be a QR code and you'll be able to actually download these tactics in a free playbook so that you can then go back in the clinic and brainstorm with your team or within yourself and see what might be applicable for your clinic and what might be worth to take further now or even down the line. So stay on and look out for the QR code in a few minutes. So let's get into it. Tactic number 1, brainless to bring LED into the clinic. Treatment bundling for cellular synergy. Melissa mentioned it already. It's about cellular energy. I love the term you use, Melissa, biohacking. Extremely impactful. So This tactic is about creating Dermalux add-on packages with core services you already offer, so it becomes very easy and smooth to introducing into your business. You can market it as a results accelerator, so you can position LED as a step that enhances any outcome and recovering of what you already do. You will see in the blurb up in the right-hand side, the blue circle, some suggestions as well about how to position it to patients, because often, we as part of the industry, we understand, but sometimes it's difficult to communicate and to deliver that message to the patient. Well, this makes it extremely easy. LED makes it easy and emotional, like Melissa was saying. So actually, every advanced skin treatment works better when your cells are energized and supported by Dermalux. And who would say no to that? So first tactic, treatment bundling with what you already offer. Tactic number 2, introducing LED first light offer. We see time and time again that when patients try LED, they love it. They love how it feels on the skin. They love what the skin looks like afterwards. They love how they feel personally after the treatment, and they want to come back. So offer a low barrier cellular therapy session standalone, a gift with another treatment, as we said, combination, so that they can experience what this means, and then use the beautiful world of AI to follow up with automated messages, highlighting that actually you had a fantastic first session, perfect, but actually this works better. This is about consistency, as Melissa was saying. So you want to highlight the Dermalux courses for the long-term cellular health that they want to achieve. Number 3, membership and subscription models. Melissa hinted on this one, but this again is a really profitable for return of investment tactic. So you can create Dermalux memberships, for example, for LED sessions per month at a preferential price. Think of like a gym, but for your face in this case. And think of it as a monthly fee that you come in for, and you get as much as you need. And you can position it as the ongoing cellular therapy, not a one-off cosmetic boost, right? You want to communicate that skin health is progressive. Regular sessions keeps the cells energized, repair processes active, and inflammation reduced. So again, how can we position it to the patients? Well, actually, Dermalux works at a cellular level, and therefore, just like your body needs consistent energy to function at its best, well, your skin thrives when its cells are regularly charged. So that's why you're going to offer treatment plans and membership to keep the skin in recovery and repair mode for lasting results. Again, really, really simple and emotional and engaging for our patients. Do not be shy about all the fantastic things you do. There is no room for imposter syndrome when showing off the results and what the treatment looks like for LED. You may scan the QR code in the corner to get a bit of an inspiration of what type of content we are referring to. But this is about sharing progress diaries and using caption highlighting the benefits of LED on patients. And actually, what we would suggest is encourage the patients to describe how that feels, how they feel stronger, calmer, healthier skin. This is truly important. People buy from people. This is a very emotional treatment as well. And if you can manage to get your clients to describe that and to sell it to your clients, use your clients for free marketing in the end, right? And make them do that job of marketing to other patients. Cross-selling. Now, extremely simple again to add Dermalux LED as an impulse add-on. Think of it as you're at the supermarket and you're at the till and you get your chewing gum just before the end. Think of it in the same way. You're doing a botulinum toxin or injectable treatment, and you want to offer your patients before they get out of the treatment that chewing gum on the side that they're not going to be able to say no to. So again, how can we position it? Let's add a 10-minute LED on the spot recovery boost while you relax. This will ensure you get the most optimal and lasting results. It makes it easy for the patients to say yes. They might have been on hundreds or thousands of pounds treatments already. This might add, a 5 to 10% price to that. Again, it's a brainless investment for them when you're positioning as this is going to drive your most optimal and lasting results. When we get a treatment as patient, we want that security. You can create script from your stuff, but again, extremely, extremely simple to position it as as an impulse add-on when they are on the treatment chair. Automated rebooking prompts. Tip number 6. Again, use AI and all the automation that is out there. We're not here to teach anyone how to use ChatGPT, because I'm sure many of you know, and if not, you can actually ask ChatGPT to explain you how to use itself, which is mind-blowing. So there's no need for us to sit here and explain it, but use that world to make your life easier. This is the science of consistency. It's going to work best when you use it in several sessions. So reduce the friction in your booking process. Use direct online booking links, send automated reminders, reinforcing the science of consistency. And also, we can't stress enough, don't forget seasonality. Send that online automated message before the summer to prep the skin for the sunshine, after the summer to recover the skin after the sunshine, before the autumn to prep the skin for the colder weather, after the holidays to recover the skin after the parties. And I could go on and on and on all the occasions and seasonalities, which makes LED an extremely easy buy and easy sell for your patients. So again, cells respond best to Dermalux when energy is replenished regularly. So make sure your patients secure their next session to keep their repair cycle active. And again, keeping the cycle active needs to be a messaging that is consistently delivered to the patients. Retail tie-in strategy is tactic number 7. If you already offer skincare and home care products, well, again, you might want to think about incorporating Dermalux with that, and think about branding it as, we talked about before, patients buy results. They don't buy treatment. So think of it more than, oh, we offer LED plus skincare XYZ, but actually we offer a complete skin recovery system made of ABC treatment. So offer a tie-in strategies with everything else they offer, even if it's not invasive, minimally invasive procedure. It can be also skincare products, for example, that you might just have on your shelf in your clinics. We talked about shouting about what you do on socials, and the same we advise to do in the clinics. It's extremely powerful for patients to see the Dermalux treatments, even when it's done on other patients and other patients' results. So make the most of waiting room videos, digital signage to spark that curiosity and take those patients from that awareness level we talked about all the way to consideration. So then you can talk to them, they are curious, and you're gonna likely convert them. Number 9, almost reaching the end, referral and loyalty incentive. We talked about use your patients as your marketing. This is the simplest ways. When people love something, they're likely going to be very happy to refer it to someone else, especially if they get something in return. So use refer a friend promotions. For example, both receive a Dermalux credit or an upgrade. And then again, science of consistency. So use loyalty cards, like Melissa was saying. Book 7 sessions, your 8th one is free. And again, play on the long-term skin health journey, and how actually the repair processes staying optimized is key to this science of consistency. Last but not least, extremely simple but extremely effective, launch the treatment into your clinic. No one's just gonna have to find out just from the treatment menu. It's okay, but that would be a shame, because you have something that looks beautiful, feels beautiful, you're not sticking needles in anyone's face, there's no blood, so why not showing it off and showing what this beautiful experience feels like? Patients are looking for non-invasive, regenerative, this fits all these boxes, so let's shout about it. So host skin health evenings, feature mini Dermalux sessions to make people, try, even for a few minutes, what it feels like on the skin, that tingling sensation of your cellular energy activating, and and that recovery happening. So, and then lock them in, create urgency on the night, create exclusive course discounts for attendees. If you're here tonight, you're gonna get 5 sessions, the 6th one is free. Again, it's gonna lock them into the long-term plan and ultimately use it as an opportunity. Patients are already there. Patients want this. They are ready to learn because they've been wanting this for a while and now it's here. So use it as an educational introduction to take it further, to talk about cellular therapy and how this is listening to everything that patients are asking for today. So if we have to wrap it up, just before we go to the key final learnings and takeaways for you, we looked at the science that keeps clients booking. We now explained it, it's understood, and you've got the language to communicate to your patient with a success framework. You know the return on investment. There is no doubt that this is an investment that makes sense if you're looking to grow your business financially. You know you have the tools to also make it easy and bring it in easily into your practice. And actually, we also have the top 10 tactics to scale bookings that you can apply based on where you're at in your journey. So let's look at quickly at the 3 most profitable strategies. So if we look at the science, if we bring together the science, the profit formulas and the business models and the marketing materials, and we had to say, okay, tomorrow we want to market it, we might have not given you all the tools yet. So let's look at, based on all of this and all the trends we've seen, what are the 3 most profitable strategies we recommend. Strategy number 1, again, looking at the bigger trends in the aesthetic era right now, the acne clinic. We know this is a huge concern. So let's start with bringing the science that we talked about at the beginning. Blue light targets bacteria, red and near infrared reduce inflammation and accelerate healing. The benefits for the clients buy benefits, clears the skin without drugs, speeds up recovery, reducing downtime. What's in it for you as profit, as business? You can package weekly courses for, again, the science of ongoing maintenance. You can combine with existing modalities in your practice, and you can this way create recurring revenue and build client loyalty as you do that. So business model number 1 that brings in several of the ROI tactics and several of the top 10 tactics to scale the bookings is the acne clinic. Number 2, hitting on another huge, I call it trend, but actually no, because it's here to stay, but it's the recovery boost. We branded it this way. Obviously, you're free to call it in whichever way you like. But what is the science? Let's go back to that. LED improves circulations, reduces inflammation, supports cellular repair, is your preconditioning and post-recovery service. What is the benefit for the client? Enhanced recovery, reduced downtime, all the things they will not say no to because they've been looking for that. This is where you, on a profit level, you bundle LED with aesthetic procedures, facials, everything that you already offer in your clinic, and this just magically increases the average spend per visit that you gain from your client effortlessly, just by giving a recovery boost service. Number 3, last but not least, we talked about the line launch. So let's call it in a more trendy way, based on what is the benefit that patients are looking for, the glow room. Everyone's looking for a good glow. So here we are going to use the science of transforming that underutilized space in a self-service, in a semi-supervised LED therapy lounge, and obviously use the scientific benefit of cellular restoration, supporting repair, regeneration, and skin vitality. The benefit for the clients is effortless, is convenient, and they are gonna get the glowing, rejuvenated skin benefit they are looking for, on top of regular maintenance and long-term results as well. For you, from a profit point of view, that angle, that corner that you never thought could be useful, well, now it's making you money. That's good news. You increase bookings, increase loyalty, repeat visits, and ultimately has hands-off operation, which means high ROI with minimal staff involvement, pretty much. So again, if you're interested in actually exploring the models further and really tailor them to your specific reality, scan the QR code and lock in your opportunity to book the free LED growth planning call. And we got to the Q&A, Melissa.
Yes, we did, which we were worried about because of me, basically, because I talk too much.
We made a team on that, but I think we managed. High five.
Okay. High five. Great. Let's go through some of them. There's some really great ones. Blanca, thank you so much for your question. I need to save myself from this question though, because I always give way too much away. The question was about innovation. What else is coming from Dermalux? So, all I would say is, what would you like to see? Let me save myself from answering that in any other way. So thank you so much for that question. Rachel, I see, Marco, you've also responded, but I think this is a really great one to answer live. Can we get a copy of this recording? So thank you so much for that, Rachel. You absolutely can. You will be able to watch this back. Your team will be able to watch this back many of times through the Dermalux Academy. So I don't know, Marco, if you're able to pop over to the next slide there, or maybe I can. Here we go. There is a link here to register to the Dermalux Academy. If you are not on there, there is some great things on there, particularly the modules to be able to know exactly how to get started and how to use the devices, but then it goes beyond that with some amazing resources that you can download. There will also be great webinars with lots of your peers that you will know throughout the industry who also support in using LED in specific areas. And you'll also know what's coming next in terms of webinars and new content, and you'll always be right at the forefront of the industry with Dermalux. There was another question here which is from Joanna. Marco, tell me to leave, and shut up at any point. But if you don't mind, I'd like to answer this one as well. The question was, when you say hands-free, does that mean that the client manages the machine? No, don't let them touch the machine. Very good question though to ask. And let me clarify that. Actually, I feel like maybe I hadn't clarified that. When we talk about hands-free, it means that you are not doing a manual treatment and you're not having to, stay with that client the entire time. You can also utilize the team, the front of house team, any of your other staff members that are free to be able to set up that treatment for you, especially when we're looking at a light lounge. Now, if I talk you through the processes of what other people have done with a light lounge or a glow room, as Marco mentioned before, the glow clinic, what we found is clients can have multiple devices all set up. They have a seating position because the TriWave MD again and our compact light, you can be sat in a seating position. So they have really comfy seats. They have tables next to the seats where they have cleansers and toners and moisturizers and SPF, and clients can come in, remove their own makeup. They sit there, then somebody will choose the program that's already been part of that consultation process. It is so simple to use the device. The user interface is amazing. You choose the protocol that's preset already for you and press play. That runs for 20 minutes and then you can go on to do whatever else that you're doing. Some people have headphones while they're relaxing, which either plays really lovely music or tells them what else you can get from the clinic. That's a great business model. And then they finish, they put their own moisturizer on, make sure they're protected with the SPF, and they leave. So it's a really seamless integration in terms of in and out, and very little effort from your side. So thank you so much. That's a really great question. Marco, maybe you could answer the question from Anne-Marie. And again, if you need support from different areas, I'm more than happy to help. Anne-Marie asked a brilliant question. How much do most people charge for Dermalux as an add-on? So, and Anne-Marie has shared that she includes this on most treatments. So music to my ears, of course. But Marco, I don't know if there's anything that you wanted to share there.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, I mean, it depends on which country you're based. So I'm gonna talk on a UK pounds point of view, but please do translate it to your local region if you're not based in the UK. But typically, if we look at standalone, it would be around over £100 for a 20 minutes Thrive MD, or around £40 for a 30 minutes Flex MD sessions. And actually, we're looking for combined LED with other treatments. Typically, it's around £75 plus for a 10 minutes Thrive MD session, or around £20 for a 20 minutes Flex MD sessions. Now, these are extremely, averages.
Yes.
It depends where you're based, in the center of the city, outside of it, in which city. But this wants to be, a bit of a general guidance. And by all means, if you book your LED growth planning call, which I'm happy to put the QR code on again, then for sure we'll be able to advise better based on your specific situation. And Melissa, I take the opportunity to answer another one, which
Go.
I thought came through. I'm at the Dermalux webpage. Where is the recording? You're right, it's not there yet, but it's gonna be there in around a day or even less. So come back in the next couple of days. We just need to close the session, edit it, and then put it on. Yes. So you're right, it's not there yet. And then another question from Gary. Thank you for the compliment of the great presentation. We like that. So can we use Dermalux at the same time as a toxin treatment? So you can use it as a combination therapy with botulinum toxin. And actually, we have a specific protocol that details how to combine the two treatment modalities. That and a long list of many other treatment modalities as well. So if you do register to the Dermalux Academy, again, the QR code is here, or just go on the Dermalux site and follow education. You're going to be able to access all the protocols, including the combined protocol, to add on to your existing treatments.
Brilliant. Marco, should we stay another couple of minutes? The questions are coming in thick and fast. Are you okay?
Let's do that. Yeah, stick with us. We'll do our best. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, let's answer one more each. And what we would love to do is then answer each one that we don't get chance to get to, as we always do. So again, keep the questions coming, even though we've said that we'll pick two, but we just want to protect everyone's time in the evening. Really lovely comments from some of you on here. We really appreciate that. That goes a very long way. One of the questions then, Marco, that maybe I will put through to yourselves. So, or maybe I'll take this one actually. So Eileen, again, you have the tri-wave, amazing, and you love it, so thank you so much for that feedback. However, you don't use the one part of it, which I believe you're referring to as photodynamic therapy. There is a really great video on the Dermalux Academy that talks you through the photodynamic therapy conversation and what that is. And you're absolutely right when you mention skin cancer. We're using specific wavelengths of light with a particular prodrug, which then actively destroys abnormal cells when we use them in a particular protocol. So if you are a medic, or you are able to offer this type of treatment, then please do take a look at that. It seems to be huge at the moment and continues to grow as a treatment modality. So thank you so much. Marco, would you like to answer any other question?
I'm going to answer Sabrina, and then we might come to a close, Melissa. But yeah. Sabrina asking, can you please explain what do you mean for membership? Absolutely. Membership, we mean when we offer patients the opportunity to pay a fixed monthly fee to come into our clinic and experience Dermalux. It could be that, for example, you get the clients to pay £100, and with £100, they get 5 sessions of Dermalux per month. You can go scale it as well. It can be 150 and they get more sessions. Or some clinics also have tried to say, actually, we charge 150 and you can come into the clinic as much as you want to get Dermalux. And then what clinics do to make sure that there's no overflow of people, They implement free online booking systems. There's plenty available, very easily implementable wherever you are in your digital expertise. And that way, they make sure that the device gets booked only by one person at any given time. And this way, they can keep the booking up to date, and people have access all the time to the clinic whenever the device is available, and it keeps it very well organized. So by membership, we mean a fixed monthly price you're going to charge your patients for a set or an unlimited use of the device in the clinics, often managed by a simple online booking system, so that it doesn't use much stuff and it keeps everything organized.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Marco. Yeah, I could stay here forever and answer these questions, but I know I want to protect everyone's time. Thank you so much. I mean, it's been a really great session. We've loved putting this together and being able to deliver this to you all. As always, we always just get so excited about the engagement from everybody and the great questions that have come through. So we really appreciate you asking those questions, and we will come back to you. On the screen now, please do register to the Dermalux Academy. You should get instant access. Any problems, let us know, and you will be able to then download the tools you know, that we've spoken about for protocols, and being able to really utilize your device as much as possible. And as I said, it should be the most used equipment in the clinic. And please do get in touch with us and with our team. You know, if you're interested in finding out more about LED, if you want to give feedback on today's webinar, if you want to have the incredible growth call that Marco was talking about, this is complimentary to you for joining us in today's session, and we really want to hear from you. So please do feel free to scan the QR code that is on here, and also download those resources. Including in those resources are the What is LED Phototherapy speech that I'd put together, which is a really nice guideline. Of course, we don't want to all be robots, but it's a nice guideline to get you started, and hopefully it really helps. But we want the feedback, so please do share all of that with us. Marco, anything else from you before we finish for today?
That's all, Melissa. Just a thanks for everyone. Today we wanted to deliver value for you. From the comments, I think we managed, and I hope you're going to walk away with a clear view on why we can't miss LED nowadays for our patients, how it's going to drive business, and what are the best and easiest way to implement it. And if you want more help on that, again, book your call or reach out, you know, just go on the site and reach out to us, or on Instagram, wherever, we're everywhere. So wherever you find us, reach out and we'll get back to you. And we look forward to continuing the conversation and help you driving business into your practice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you very soon. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks everybody. Thank you, Melissa. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.